Yo, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Nerd soul. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bring you that street geek and nerd soul. And what is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we about to get into a movie review for you. It's so beautiful. Oh, I cannot wait, because we gonna be spoiling F8 or Fate of the Furious. Now today is gonna be a little bit different because since this movie has been out for about a month now, I assume that everyone who would have wanted to see this film has seen it. So before you go any further, if you have not seen Fate of the Furious and you don't want to be spoiled, you gotta go, because I'm gonna be talking about pretty much everything that may have happened and kind of how I felt about it. So let's get into this. Before we get started, Fast and Furious as a series is crazy, it's ridiculous, it's over the top. So we're gonna throw that out the window because we already know that's crazy. So there's no reason for me to continue to, reference that, because we know this is ridiculous. Fast and Furious series is a 90s action film in 2017. It's bells and whistles and pretty people, straight up. But it's fun, and it's imaginative, and it's unique. And it's that combination with making sure that they don't overstay their welcome, because it's not like they're dropping like 2 of these every year or even once a year. They're spacing these jams out to make sure that they don't over Fast and Furious you. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's cool because with a series like this, you're able to say, all right, this is crazy, these people are crazy, but I'm ready to see something fun. And something fun is very, very close to what happens in this opening sequence. Dom decides to race for his cousin's, honor, and to also clear his debt on the streets of Cuba, but with this horrible car that he has. And even the setup is like an old school film where it's like, oh, why don't you race me for it? And it's like, but it works because it's Fast and Furious. If this wasn't Fast and Furious, that line would have been hokey, it would have been corny, and we would have all called it out. But in Fast and Furious, we're just like, all right. Even the whole thing where he's like ripping parts off the car and, taking off the front grille and all of this, and, making a fake turbo and putting NOS into like a car from like the 1940s or 50s or whatever. It's like we're like, all right. You know what I'm saying? It's like just show me what you're gonna do. And we get this very cool like race scene that goes back to like the original Fast and Furious, where it's just about street racing, and they race the Cuban Mile, which takes them around the city and really endangers a ton of people. And when you think about endangering people, what I'm talking about is having motorcyclists just ride up to an intersection at random and hold their hand out. If someone's coming at like, I don't know what full speed is, maybe say it's 45 out there. If someone's coming at 45 and you just ride up and go like this, your hand is not strong enough to stop. I mean, unless you're using the force when you put it out there. But, they're able to stop all the traffic. This race goes on. Of course, there's cool people waiting for the race to end. And as the race goes on, of course, Dom is using this old car, and it's overheating like you wouldn't believe. Overheating so much that the thing is glowing red. And I have seen cars glow red before. Like if you watch like GT racing or something, you'll see like the brakes glow red when they have those night races. So stuff like that does happen, but it's just like, it's the car. It's crazy, man. The car almost becomes a superhero because Dom is a superhero. So without going too far, Dom wins that race. We all know that. But I guess what we learn here is that when the dude is like, yo, man, you won, you can have my car, Dom's like, yo, man, I got your respect. You know what I'm saying? And everybody applauds. He gives his cousin his own Impala. The joint is it's crazy. It's like candy red and white stripe, and it's, waxed to perfection. And, it's, the car is beautiful. And he just gives it to his cousin because he's Dom, man. And I guess it's something about the Cuban atmosphere that just makes Dom happy because he's on his honeymoon, and Michelle Rodriguez is just chilling there kicking it. And it's funny, I know you're probably going to be like, why is he using their real character names? Because they're not really acting. They're just being themselves in this show. I mean, in this movie. Like, everybody's just themselves. But it works because it's Fast and the Furious. Like, The Rock isn't here, but he's just himself. And you have this interaction with Charlize Theron. She bribes him, or she kind of like manipulates him or blackmails him into working for her. And when they go to, I guess, steal this EMP, that's when, of course, Dom turns on his family, man. And I think in that case, I think it really broke Letty's heart that he did something like that, because it did come out of the blue and he didn't say nothing to her. I mean, so much so that, even when old girl was talking about like, hey, maybe he has turned and gone rogue, like, homegirl bumped her shoulder, man. Like, remember back in the day in school, if someone bumped your shoulder, that was like an immediate fight. But, in this case, nothing happened. And even Tyrese, who, of course, Roman Pierce is like the comedy, gold for this film. But he works, man. He does. And like, even Tej works. Like, it's crazy because you have scenes like that. Scenes like the prison fight, which was just over the top and stupid. I mean, The Rock was getting shot with rubber bullets and was just like, that's all you got, son? Like, The Rock, like, everybody's super sweet in this movie. Like, Jason Statham is like parkouring through everybody. Dude is flipping, side flippy, triple axling, everybody, busting people in the head. I think The Rock headbutted somebody with a helmet on. Like, look, if you have muscles and you're bald, one, you're definitely in Fast and Furious. Two, like, your powers are magnified by like 1,000. When you're bald headed and you got muscles, it's almost like you're like a creator player, but with all the levels up. Like, you're like on 100 on all your levels. And it's just, it's a fun ride. It's stupid. It's definitely stupid, but it's cool because even Kurt Russell is like, you took longer than I thought you would. But before I move on, I got to remind you guys that you can find me on, that's right, Black Hollywood Live, the first online network for African Americans. They do after shows, celebrity interviews, sports talk, geek, nerd, tech, the whole shebang-a-bang. And you can find it at blackhollywoodlive.com. And if you need to see more from week to week, you can check them out on youtube.com/blackhollywoodlive. And that's something that you can't find everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can't find NERDSoul everywhere. You find NERDSoul me on either my channel or you can find it on Black Hollywood Live. You ain't gonna find me everywhere. I ain't just all in them streets. You can find me on iTunes too. But what I'm saying is, look, you can't just find me everywhere. But what is everywhere is the God's Eye. And Charlize Theron's character, oh boy. All right, Charlize Theron brings a lot to this role. She definitely kills it and makes me believe that she's evil because, of course, she's kidnapped, Dom's wife, well, not wife, his wifey, and his son, and is threatening to kill them if he don't work for her, man. Like, she comes, steals the God's Eye, kisses him mad hard in front of Letty. Now, you ain't heard it from me, but Dom used a little bit of tongue in that joint. But what I'm saying is, look, man, I'm just saying, look, hashtag don't tell my wife Charlize Theron blackmailed me and want me to kiss her. I'm not going to say, look, she's blackmailing me, man. She blackmailing me. You know what I'm saying? I can't be just not kissing someone who's blackmailing me. I mean, come on. But the team recovers. We find out that they're going to get all these pieces. They got the EMP. They need to go get this other piece from New York. We find out there's this Russian dude with nuclear codes. And we get one of the set pieces in this movie are just incredible and unique. And they set it apart in such a crazy way. Like, F. Gary Gray really killed this because, I mean, to a certain degree, it's a car chase. But the way they use technology, the way they use a lot of these real cars that they're wrecking, it just really provides a visual spectacle, man. And between the team chasing them, these cars flying out the sky, you know, Dom doing his best Winter Soldier impression, like, man, that scene was crazy, and I was highly impressed with it. Even though I probably shouldn't have been, but I was, man. It was right up my alley. It was dumb, but it was the right type of dumb. And it really just works. Another part of that works in this is the family dynamic with Jason Statham's character, Helen Mirren, and the cat that plays Owen. I can't think of his name, but you guys know. And it's nice to have a cool third party that doesn't super have a beef with Dom's crew, but also has a vested interest in him winning in this situation. And they have their own side story that really turns out being a lot of fun, because at the end of the film, you have what ends up being the submarine scene from the trailer. What you saw in the trailer, oh, it was cool, but what you see on the movie, once it's on the big screen, it is visual crack, because the way, I mean, the submarine is just blowing cars up when it touches them, man. The ice is crackling and flying all over the place. The dude has missiles, is blowing up ice. The Roman goes under the water. I mean, this scene, this whole like 10-mile chasing, and they let you know too. They let you know straight up. They're like, oh well, the doors to the ocean are 10 miles away. Like, they let you know. They let you know this is going to be another runway scene, and it's going to be long, but they reward you, because during this you get to see The Rock literally push a torpedo, because The Rock is that cool. You get to see The Rock use like a scooper or whatever, ice scooper, to block a missile, man. You get to see Tej pull Roman out the water, and then Rome beats up a dude with a car door. I know when I'm explaining it to you, it sounds foolish, but I promise you, you watch this and you're gonna be like, I can't believe what I'm seeing, in a good way. And it's, man, you got Dom. Dom is like, yo, look, when I kill somebody, I look in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? And he been wanting to kill that dude since the beginning. He looked like a fake leprechaun with a jean jacket. But the point is, like, the movie, it's leaving me speechless because of the amount of high quality, entertaining dumbness. Because I know it's dumb. I know it's ridiculous. But Fast and Furious has found the perfect nexus between entertainment, suspense, ridiculous, dumb, and popcorn. And it's right in that, but right there in that middle, the movie's a slam dunk, man. It is. Now, here's my score. Though it's a slam dunk, look, F. Gary Gray, you know, Dom, The Rock, all you guys, I could only give you 3.5 stars. Because, look, the movie's ridiculous. Just the stuff you doing is crazy, man. You know what? Even what you're doing is crazy, but it's unique. And on the big screen, it's incredible. You know what? Look, between, all right, F. Gary Gray, Universal, The Rock, Vin Diesel, between you and me, all right, 4 stars, man. That's right. I'm going to give y'all 4 stars. I was going to go 3.5 because it's stupid, and I was going to take off 1.5. But you know what? Look, all right, this is my show. I score how I want to score. I'm giving you guys 4 stars because your film, though it's not, y'all ain't getting no Oscars, but you guys have entertained me for years and years. And this movie, even though it's the 8th film, which means y'all should have fell off a long time ago, You guys have not. And there is something to be said for that longevity and that consistency. I'm happy. The whole scene with the baby killed it for me. That baby, that is the most actingest baby. And that's the best baby of the year. If there's an Oscar for best baby, that's the best baby. But I'm going to tell you, your consistency, your level of entertainment, 4 stars. 4 stars. Me and you, we here. We here. Come out with that Fast 9 and let me know what's up. So see, guys, I can be fun. I can be fair. I can have cool times. You know what I'm saying? I can blow up ice and enjoy submarines too. So I want to know what you thought about this film. It's crazy from end to end, but there is a lot of cool stuff in there. So holla at me, I'ma holla at you. But before I bounce, I gotta tell you to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right, holla at me anytime on those videos, the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. And then hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And don't forget one for them playettes. And thank you so much for hitting me up on Patreon. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That is right. There is no other way that I can tell people that you like what you are watching. And my shout outs got to go to LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And live life 1 quarter mile at a time. Peace.